Dear children, welcome to our next class. Here you are going to learn about how the soil is formed and how it's going to be useful for different living organisms which live on this planet Earth. So that in detail you are learning in today's class. You know very well the soil is very important for us. Then you might have got it out what we are doing with soil. Nowhere you are connected with soil at all. But your ma'am is saying that the soil is so important for us. How is it? We are going to learn in today's class. Here in the picture you can see, children, different types of soils you are able to see here in the picture. Some soils are black in color, some are brown in color, some soils are dark brown in color. You can able to see this color difference in different soils from the picture. First of all, how it's useful for especially for the human beings we'll see now. You know very well, to grow the plants, soil is very essential. So whenever we sow the seeds in the soil, then only they can germinate and grow into like baby plants. This you have already learnt in previous blogs. So we are depending on plants. We get our food items from plants. This also you learnt in blog 2 and photosynthesis lesson. How plants are using the soil and how they are able to prepare their own food. So they are able to make their own food, but we are depending on plants. So there is no human life without plants. So indirectly, we are totally depending on soil. Our life is connected with soil. And not only for that, wherever you are living, this house and your school buildings, when they are building this huge buildings, roads and all, we use the soil for formation. Yes, and even for the animals. If you see some animals like rabbits, they will dig the soil, prairie dogs, they dig the soil and they live inside the soil. So there are n number of uses with soil. Yes, this you are going to learn in detail how the soil is useful for us in coming block. Here you will see what is the composition and the formation of soil, how actually the soil is formed and what does it contain. That you are going to learn in today's class. So to understand this, we'll do one small activity. How this soil is formed. To understand, we'll do a small activity now. For this activity, you need one stone, any stone. Keep these things ready before the class. And a hammer, one hammer and the rock we need to do this activity. And what we are going to do with this, you know that the soil is formed from the rocks. So the rocks are the main parts which are very essential for the formation of rocks. Now we will see by beating this rock with the hammer. See, I'm using my force and I'm going to beat this stone. Even you can also do along with me, and what happens we see. See, so forcefully I'm beating. But anywhere are you finding any small gravel or the soil formation from this? You have taken different stones and you all strike with the hammer and find out, are you able to form the soil? We could not. By beating with the hammer, we couldn't form the soil actually. There is a process in the nature. Soil is a natural resource. So it's naturally forming. So from the rocks only, definitely the base is rock. So from the rocks only the soil is formed. But not by the way which when we are hammering with the stone, when we are hammering like this, we couldn't see the formation of soil. And what is the process? What actually goes on? We'll see in detail in our lesson. Okay? So, to understand here, you can read this from the content book. In content book, along with the pictures, clearly it has given how the soil is useful and what are the different layers were there that you can understand very clearly. Here are the different layers in this pictures. You can see how the soil formation takes place. From the rocks, how the soil is formed. But these pictures are not in correct order. So, after understanding the content, you are able to arrange these pictures in order. So, what actually happens means whenever the huge rocks are exposed with sunlight, heavy rain, and the wind blows, then these heavy rocks get break down due to the continuous heat of this rock. The sunlight, the sun gives us heat and light. So, due to that heat, the rocks, the huge rocks, it's an example for you. But in the nature, there are huge rocks are available. So those rocks are absorbing the heat from the sun. So due to this heat, and by night time it cools, the atmosphere gets cools because of continuous heat and coolness, the rocks get some cracks in them. And it's not only done by the sun's heat, it can also done by the heavy rains. As shown in the picture, you can also see the rainfall in picture B. So you can see here how this rain causes for breakdown of rocks. So these rocks get broke because of the heavy rain. This heavy rain fall through these rocks and continuous rains make some pressure on the rocks and they get cracks in them, and later they broke into small pieces like gravel, and slowly the organic matter forms. You can see in the picture D, organic matter started forming. And picture B, due to the heavy rain and continuous heat, the rocks broken down, and in the picture D, after the breakdown of rocks. So this process, due to the sun's heat, due to wind and heavy rains, where the rocks broke down into small pieces called as weathering. So due to the weathering process, the big stones or rocks changed into like small gravel. You can see in picture D the formation of gravel. So here, along with the gravel, due to the wind, when the wind blows, small seeds which flies away along with the wind and fall on this rocks are on this gravel, and then slowly organic matter develops. Organic matter is nothing but the matter which have the nutrients. You learned in before lesson what are the different nutrients. So this where the matter made up of with the nutrients, that's called as organic matter. So in picture D you can see the formation of organic matter. So whenever the wind blows through this organic matter, it starts the even the seeds also fall on this small gravel, and also by the heavy rain, this organic matter supply the food for the baby plants. Where the seeds fallen on these rocks, due to weathering process, the rocks are again broken down into very tiny small pieces and finally forms like the soil. You can see in picture A how the soil is formed from the small gravel. Sometimes it also happens due to our force. Whenever we are moving by vehicles, our vehicle tires also make that small gravels into pieces of soil. Due to sun's heat, due to rain, and due to wind, due to human force, also the soil is formed. So this is the way of formation of soil, the main content you are learning from today's lesson. And you are also knowing that what actually the soil contains. What's the composition of soil? You learned now the soil contains gravel and also the organic matter. In picture A, you can see the organic matter where the small seeds are also fallen in organic matter, and they use up this organic matter and start germinating. You know the process of germination, right? So from the seed, a baby plant arises. So in picture C, you can see the stages of germination. So now you are able to arrange this picture in correct order. So as you are understanding, you arrange this picture and which picture will come first. You know very well. So I'm leaving this to you to arrange this picture into correct order. Now I hope you understood the formation of soil very well, and you can see this video to understand more about the composition and the formation of soil.
Soil is made up of different components. Soil is formed from large rocks that break down due to heat, wind, and rainfall. As the rocks break down, water seeps inside and organic matter is formed. Gradually, the soil separates into layers and plants begin to grow.
Understood, children? Once again, we'll discuss this video.
Soil is made up of...
You can see the picture of soil. A dark brown color soil you are able to see in the picture, and it contains different materials like organic matter and minerals. Just now I told you what is organic matter means. Along with this, the minerals, it also contain minerals and particles like sand, clay and silt. These all are present in the soil, and along with the organic matter, sand, clay and silt, it also contains air and water. Due to this air, some animals are able to live in soil, and it also has some amount of water too.
Different components. Soil is formed from large rocks that break down due to heat.
So till now I explained you rocks are getting break down due to sun's heat. Whenever the cracks comes in rocks, the water seeps through these rocks and the organic matter starts forming. You can see this in the picture.
Heat, wind, and rainfall. As the rocks break down, water seeps inside and organic matter is formed. Gradually, the soil separates into layers and plants begin to grow.
So, and then the soil started to form into like layers. The top soil, wherever the upper layer is there, that's called as top soil. Very smooth soil, that is. It contains very fine particles. That's called as top soil. It has the dead bodies of small insects, worms, and all. Whenever they die, they'll be in the top layer. So, their bodies consist of nutrients. So, automatically, the topsoil is very, very essential for growing plants. Yes, children. So, you have done an activity to understand the formation of soil. You have seen the video how the soil is formed, and you also learned the explanation from your teacher what are the different layers in the soil and how the soil is formed, what actually the soil contains. Yes, now we'll discuss our activity. What you have learned through the activity we'll see now. What does soil look like in each step of its formation? The first step, very big rocks, and the second step, small rocks called as gravel, and the final step, along with the organic matter, the soil is formed. That you learnt in today's class. Yes, and how is soil formed? You know very well that due to sun's heat and rain, wind, the soil gets big rocks get breaks in them. They broken down. The process called weathering. This all I told you just before. And how is the soil at the top different from the soil at the bottom? This I told you just now. The top soil is very, very fine, and in coming class, we will see the different layers of the soil. And you all keep some different soils with you. Based on that, you're going to do one activity in coming class. So now, shall we see the worksheet whichever given to you that we will try to complete. So you can see here, tick the factors that help to break down rocks and cross out those that do not. So you can use your workbook page number 17 and try to complete this. So, which things are helping for the formation of soil? Break down the rocks. Which things are helping to break down the rocks? Is it the wind? Yes, definitely. Just now we discussed you can take the wind. Overgrazing? In a small area, n number of animals when they come for eating, that's called as overgrazing. So definitely due to the force of the animals, also sometimes the weathering process can take place. Due to sunlight? Sure, due to sunlight. And heavy rainfall is also helping for weathering, and soil pollution, only thing which is not useful for the formation of soil. And now you see the next picture. Look at the picture and answer the questions. So the picture is given here, and the first picture, a cloud. You can see, I will enlarge this picture for you. You can see here the first picture, you can see the clouds, the rainfall, and it's falling on the rocks. And the second picture, due to rainfall, the rocks got some cracks in them. So, due to these cracks, the rainwater seeps through these rocks. You can see here the rainwater can seep through this rock. Along with this, formation of organic matter can also be seen here. And in the next picture, germination of seeds taking place due to the formation of soil. And in fourth picture, grown up plants can be seen in the soil. So you understood this picture, and now you try to answer the questions which are given below. Name the process by which soil formation takes place. It has a scientific name. Just now I told you that's called as weathering. 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 Weathering is the process by which soil formation takes place. Here I am just helping you children. It's a key word for you. You must use your sense and use the word which I gave you as keyword and complete the answer. And the next one is write the steps in the process of soil formation. So there are different steps you can write here. Number 1, due to sunlight, due to sun's light, and due to wind, due to heavy rainfall, uh, the rocks get break down. Get break down. And when the rocks get break down, in the second step what happens? The water seeps through these rocks. Water seeps through these rocks. This is the second step. And third step, organic matter is formed. In third step, what is happening? Organic matter forms. Wherever the organic matter is there the plants can grow. And the fourth step, germination of plants taken place. So like this, you can write this answer in 3 points in your own words, and what you understood from the lesson. Please use the clues which I gave you and write the answer B. Okay. And now we will see the third question. Which layer of soil will have finer soil particles? The soil on the top or at the bottom? Why? Very good question. Just now we discussed it. The top soil have very finer soil particles. And no doubt why this topsoil is having very finer particles means that's the layer is exposed to the sun's heat, wind, heavy rainfall, first fall on the topsoil itself. And one more thing, the dead bodies of animals, the dead bodies of small animals are present in the topsoil. Yes? So you can write this answer by using these clues. The topsoil is the finest soil. It has the finer soil particles. So the plants can grow very well in the topsoil. Okay. And why? Because whenever the formation of soil takes place, when it settles down, the big rocks, the gravel, and more the particles which are heavier than the gravel goes down, and finally the smooth and finer particles will stays at the top level. So by this you can answer your practice questions from the textbook and also complete your page 17 from your workbook, children. Okay, and in tomorrow's class we will be reading about the layers of soil. For this you keep different soil samples with you and a glass of water, keep it ready for doing activity. Thank you.